Hello.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can. Hi, Julia.
Oh, oh, good. Okay. Hold on just a second. Let me get these numbers off here.
No
Okay.
worries.
Yeah, I was thinking I had to type something else in, but I think I'm good. Already doing both.
You're good.
Okay,
As long as you can see my screen and hear me okay, then we're good to go.
Okay, we're in great shape. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, how'd you find us?
How did I find you? Well, a long time ago, I'd heard about y'all, and I had investigated it. But then I was on Cartridge World's website checking out how they did their e-commerce kind of stuff, and that's basically I saw your name down at the bottom.
Absolutely. We're the #1 e-commerce platform for all of the Cartridge World stores, so they definitely use us. And we didn't start off that way. We slowly worked our way through word of mouth and through success stories, and they eventually replaced their own e-commerce system that they had on their website with just us. So it's worked out pretty well. Well, good. So I just wanted to kind of give you a demo today. This is just you don't have a trial or anything yet, but I still act like you have an account. I've created an account for you. If you can see that, I put your branding on it just so that you can kind of get a feel for what it would look like if you were to get an account with us. We have an account set up for you. So at the end of this trial, if you want to, or the end of this demo, if you want to go ahead and start using it and playing with it, we can start your 30-day trial. Your account's really already set up. So just a little bit about us and what EasyOrder is and where we kind of have come from. I started out, we're in Texas as well, we're in Austin, and I started out with my father who owned a brick and mortar pharmacy, and he brought in inkjet refilling as another revenue stream for his pharmacy, and this was 13, 14 years ago. And with that, he wanted to, obviously, when we started selling more than just people in our pharmacy, we wanted to go out and start selling to businesses. And we figured out we needed to learn how to do toner, and we needed a website. And we learned how to do all the manufacturing ourselves. That's back when everybody was doing it all themselves. And
yeah, we used to do that too.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the back room before we even had vent hoods. We had just trash cans, and I called it my black lung period.
Yes. I remember sometimes I'd come out of that room and I was covered in black.
Yeah, so we know where we've been. So anyway, it started off like that, and then we realized we needed to sell to business customers, and so obviously we looked to the internet, and then we looked at that. E-commerce was really the only solution. And my father, being a longtime entrepreneur, he's done real estate, he's done stockbroker stuff, he's done pharmacy stuff for over 30 years. He's really customer service oriented, and I am too. I believe that if you give the customer a great experience, that they respond to that a lot better. And so instead of just putting everything up on a website and going, come to my website and find what you need and then pay for it, and we won't talk and then that's it, we decided to get a different approach to where the customer's first in our minds. And if we can make it easy for the customer to order from us, easier than everybody else, then they're going to reward our business with their loyalty, and they're going to order from us, because at the end of the day, it's all commodities. We're all selling cartridges, and the price matters a little bit, but service really does matter more than anything else in this, especially in today's market, because you have to differentiate yourself from your competition. And with your competition being like Amazon and these faceless websites, the people want to still do business with people at the end of the day, especially big business, larger business, not the B2C customer, but the B2B customer wants somebody to be there.
Right.
And if something messes up, they want that face, to be there.
Right.
So
they want somebody to take care of it. And those are our target customers. If they want to buy on the internet, then they just need to go do that.
Yeah. And a lot of people get hung up and they try to compete with the internet pricing and just try to bottom out their pricing. And I'm always telling them, don't do that. Keep your prices the way they are and just give good service, and that's all you need to do. So that's basically where EasyOrder's come from. That's our whole philosophy, is to do that. And so that's why I feel like we've been around for almost 13 years, is because, this philosophy has carried us through, because the customer really does take care of you if you take care of them. So that's kind of why, who we are and why we started. I tell that story just to let you know that we're not software guys that make software for all kinds of stuff. We're toner guys that made software for toner people, to help them sell more toner. We did sell our business in 2008, so we don't have that business anymore. We would just do strictly software. So now we just support you guys, and EasyOrder is what we do full time. We're always improving on it.
Wow.
It's gone from an order intake system to now a full marketing system that can really market your business in a different way. And then we call ourselves kind of like your sales partners. We help you we tell you stuff that's working in the industry from other people of our hundreds and hundreds of other toner dealers that we work with, and we can kind of give you that information and help you along with your marketing as well. Okay,
cool.
So past that, let's get into the kind of nuts and bolts of how EasyOrder works, and then how you can set up customers and that kind of stuff. It all starts, you'll log in at, you may have gotten a couple emails, because like I said, I set this account up for you, so you may have gotten a welcome email from me and things like that. But you should always log in at cartridgereorder.com. That's this URL up here. If you don't have a welcome email from us, let me know and I'll send you one.
I don't think I do.
Okay, cool. I'll send one after the meeting. I'm also recording this, so if you want to go back and review it again or show it to somebody else, you'll have this ready to go for that as well. So I'll send that all to you after we're done. Your user ID is Printek, and then your password is, I think, Toner1, just something simple. And so I'll send that all to you at the end. But once you log in, you get here, and this is your control panel for EasyOrder. And so once you get to here, you basically can do a couple things. Everything really starts with managing customers or managing quotes, whether you're dealing with setting up somebody new or dealing with responding to a quote. Those are kind of the two big starters. And so I'll start with manage customers. We'll go in here, and if you notice, all the buttons are up here now. Weirdly enough, you're kind of in a strange phase, because August 6th, we're launching a new version of EasyOrder that's mobile optimized. So it's optimized to fit smaller screens. You're going to be able to work with it on your phone. If you're out in the field, you can work with EasyOrder. If your customer wants to order online with their cell phone, they're going to be able to as well. So a lot of what I'm telling you is really going to change a little bit in the next few weeks. So I'll show you what that's going to change to at the end of the training. But essentially, these buttons that are graphics and icons, they're all kind of moving over to this side, and they're more just web buttons. They're not like graphics and stuff like that. So although I'll train you on this new thing very soon, it will change for you. So I'm sorry about that. But anyway, all the action buttons are up here at the top. If you're ever wondering what to do, you can always hover over something and it'll kind of explain what the button does. So if you're ever lost on anything, you can always hover over it and kind of see what's going on. I'm going to click new, and we're going to create a new customer. You start just by typing in the customer name. So I'm going to call this ABC CPA. So we're targeting like a CPA firm here. If you have more than one location or store, you could set that up there. The first thing that you should pay attention to is you can lock customer pricing. And what's cool about this is every other e-commerce website out there, you kind of live and die by that price you show to people online, and you have to honor that, so, and that's for anybody that comes through. But with EasyOrder, because it's closed ordering, it's between you and your customer, and nobody else sees that order form, you can really charge anybody anything you want on their order form differently than the other customer, and nobody's going to see the difference. So if you have one customer who has really high volume, you could give them a little bit better price. And then for somebody else who just orders one or two, a year, you could have like a normal kind of standardized price, and nobody's going to know the difference. And so if you do go bid for like a school or contractor or anything like that, that you have to stick to your pricing, you can lock prices on an order form so that the customer doesn't have to worry.
Oh, okay. And that's specific for the customer.
For this particular customer, yep. And so let's say you bid a school and you can't deviate from those prices at all. You lock the order form, and then later on when you're doing price updates, and let's say you update a Q2612A, when you do that in our system, it updates everybody who has that cartridge on their order form. So you only have to update it once. It updates everybody. But if you have it locked, it won't touch that. Okay, so I'm going to say no for that and just go to some basic stuff here. Accounting, 123 Way Drive, Austin, Texas, 78660. This heat's been crazy. Are you guys getting that heat?
Oh, yes. Recently? And it's still so humid up here. It's so bad.
My mom lived in Dallas for a long time. She just moved to New Mexico, but she's been there for 20 years. And so we always go up to Dallas. Okay, so I'm going to click save. So now we're just saving the basic customer information. Now, there's a big difference between a customer and a location. And so see here, it says add a location for ABC CPA. because EasyOrder is so robust, you can have a customer that has one location, or you can have a customer that has 400 locations, and it doesn't matter. We can handle all of that business, and you can set it up really easily. And so when you're setting up a customer, if you only have one location for that customer, we keep it filled out for you here under location. So you don't have to worry about filling that out. But if this customer has multiple locations and you're starting with the first one, this could be store number 445, or it could be the Austin location for ABC CPA. So there's a big difference between a customer and a location. And so with location, you could have as many different locations for a customer as you want to. Hang on real quick. I'm going to turn off this form filling thing that's trying to fill out my forms for me. Turn that off and then go back. Okay, so ABC CPA, I'm going to put myself in here as the customer so you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, so the next thing that asks of importance, ABC CPA 33. Okay. First thing it asks of importance is, again, we're not just an order intake system. We're a way for you to kind of monitor your customers, keep track of your business. And so we have an order reminder. And so if you set this order reminder, if they haven't ordered in 90 days, 60 days, 30 days, whatever their normal frequency is, EasyOrder will actually send you a notification that this customer has fallen out of their ordering pattern. And so if a customer normally orders every 90 days and then you set that and then they don't, you get a notification saying, hey, you want to check on ABC CPA. They haven't ordered in the time frame you specified. And that's really good because I remember in my business, I would go through my invoices and I'd see a customer I haven't thought about in 6 months. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard of them in 6 months. And then I go call them and somebody's ordered from somebody else and then I've lost the business. And so this kind of keeps you in front of that customer. We also have a feature if you want the system to kind of help you respond to these things. The system, you can turn this feature on and the system will actually send an email to the customer going, hey, we missed you. Just checking to make sure everything's okay. One of our reps will be contacting you just to check on you. So it helps you keep up with your customers and make sure that they don't fall out of their ordering patterns. The next thing is if you have sales reps that work with you, we have a robust sales rep system. So you can assign different sales reps to different customers depending on who they're servicing. They can also have separate sales rep accounts with their own usernames and passwords. So if they want to get in there and create their own quotes, create their own customers, do all that stuff, respond to them, they can do all that, but they won't see your house account information. So with sales reps, a lot of times there's high turnover, and you don't want them to take all of your customers with you. So you don't want them to access to it. And so you just give them a secure sales account. They have their own username and password. They can see only their own stuff. And if you were to ever fire them, you could, before you fire them, you change their password, or you can delete the account, and they all fall in to your house account. So just FYI, we have a pretty robust sales account. Tax rate can be set per customer per order form. So if it's 0 or 8.25%, whatever, you can set that on the back end as a general tax rate, and it'll always show up here. But if you want to set to 0 for like a church or a school, you could do that as well. These discount rates, not a lot of people use, but it's basically a discount on top of your already low prices. So if you want to say something, hey, I'll give you a 5% discount on all of your products, you could put this in. It would give them an extra 5% off what you're already giving them as a price. Not a lot of people use it. Again, I don't like to discount products. I just like to give good service. Delivery and shipping, these two charges here we put because a lot of people, especially cartridge rolls, were delivering everything for free. But then even if it was like a $20 cartridge, they would deliver it. And that just is not good business. Yeah. Because you want people to order enough to be worth the free delivery. So you can put, this is kind of the industry standard of what most of my people use, $75 minimum with a $7 charge if they buy under it. And so what happens is as they check out, if they only have $35 of stuff in their cart, it says, oh, by the way, you get free shipping if you buy up to $75 worth of stuff. It prompts them to put more stuff in the cart so they can qualify for the free shipping. And if they don't do it, they get charged the $7, which makes it worth your while to put them on a run and get the stuff delivered. We also have a really robust purchasing and approval system. So if you have somebody who has all these locations to order, but then somebody at corporate needs to approve the orders. We have a very robust purchasing and approval system for that. You can have a purchaser that can purchase for all the multiple locations, or you can have all the locations order, and then that person has to approve orders. And you can really set it up any way that the company runs. This particular field here is for a customer who has purchasing and approval, but they only want to see it if the customer purchases over a certain amount. And so they say, I only want to approve orders if they're over 350. If you filled this out in this field and you had purchasers, they would only get an approval notice if they had over the set amount that you have here. So it just is kind of one of the things that's an overspending thing. It's like, I only want to know if they go crazy, that sort of thing.
Right.
Okay, so all this other stuff is just kind of how the order form shows to the customer. You can put special notes here if you want your employees to see notes about this customer, but the customer will never see them. That's for that field. Shipping is here. You can copy that on down to billing if it's just one location. If it's multiple locations, you could use the billing information for corporate and then change this to their physical location. Just so you know, we do have credit card processing available. You can, the biggest thing about the toner industry for most of my people is A&R. And most people have at least 20 or 30% in A&R all the time. And, if you can get paid for the order right away, that just makes it easier for you. You're not floating the customer for the product, and then you just get paid immediately. So it really is good. I recommend credit card processing for everybody. We do have certain vendors that we go with, and if you're interested in that, I can tell you more about that later. Okay, so I'm going to click save here, and all that seemed like it took a long time to get through. When you're doing it, it doesn't take that long. We just had to explain each field. Now, the next part is where you add the order form or create the order form for the customer. And this is kind of the best part of EasyOrder. It's our database that we've built from scratch. I built it from hand, 12 years ago, and we maintain it, add to it every day. And so this is a really tight database of what most people are buying in the industry. And so that's a big part of what you get with the EasyOrder. So I'm going to click new. And from here, you basically select your product category. We have Reman, OEM, and other is like compatible or just a third category. You can actually rename these categories to whatever you want. So if you have like a gold, bronze, silver level cartridges, you could rename those and have it whatever you want. Most people who use the system just use Reman and OEM, Reman being anything aftermarket and OEM being anything brand new. And then it's up to you when you get these orders to source the product from whoever you buy from. So most people buy their products from different manufacturers depending on the actual product, not necessarily a manufacturer. So I'm going to say Reman, and then I'll click the manufacturer. Notice we just kind of have the basic manufacturers that everybody buys. We don't go crazy with all the different millions of manufacturers, just the real popular ones. So HP, and then you can select by printer or by cartridge. You're probably used to getting people's cartridges from them, but what we want to do is get their printers, because when you go and set them up, if I set up by cartridge, one printer set could have 8 to 16 cartridges on it, and this is setting them up one by one is kind of a pain. So if you get their printer, you can do it all in one shot. And I don't like drop downs, so we've created this kind of Google type search. Less is more, so don't type in color laserjet if that's what you're looking for. Just type in the model number 2600, and it'll give you much more concise choices. You may spell color in laserjet differently than we do, so we just recommend you type in that model number. I'm going to click on the color laserjet, and if you notice, all the cartridges that come with it pop up. We have the black, there's the dual pack black, we have the cyan, yellow, magenta, we have the fuser unit, the transfer roller, all the Xerox branded HP compatibles that go with this product. Just select what you want the customer to have and then click save. That'll put this on the order form. Here's where you can personalize it, and the more you personalize these things, I will tell you, the more the customers love it, because it's easier for them to find. Instead of, if this is Bob's printer and sales
so
department.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is what I do with our little quotation form, but it's just a PDF. Basically.
A lot of people say that, like, I do this exact same thing, but in a spreadsheet or a PDF, and like this just takes it kind of the next level and takes your idea and just makes it super functional. And then again, it saves it all in one place, so you don't have to keep up with a bunch of PDFs. You just look it up when you need it. But anyway, anybody can come in now and go, Bob's printer needs a black one. And all they have to know is look up Bob's printer and look at that black icon and then order the right one. They don't have to remember these weird model numbers anymore that don't make any sense to them. So it really, the customers love it, because they can just find what they need really easy. the retail price and this price comes up. I'll explain these two things. We get the retail price. We built an application that goes out to Staples and literally scrapes the website for the most up-to-date retail prices once a week. And so,
oh wow,
yeah, so the products change. The prices change weekly depending on what goes up or down, and it's the highest price that Staples has on their website, and it's also the same one that Office Depot has. It's the one that they strike out and say not this price, but this is our price. And so it's that price. So most of the things that are being sold, you'll find there'll be a couple things every now and again that aren't synced up, but most of the things are. I'd say about 90% are. And you can bet that our retail price is pretty close, especially being in Texas, because that's where our login is at. You'll be pretty straight up with those prices. This price, I don't think of it as like this is what we say you should charge or any kind of recommended price. This is just 30% off of this price. We just put it in there for you to have like a base guide to go from, but we don't necessarily, we don't indicate that you should be charging this at all. Everybody charges their own price, and everybody comes in there, sets up their own pricing. So for you, if you came in here and we're charging $60 for this one, and let's say it's $66 for this one, you would just come in here and change your prices. And again, this could be for this customer, or this could be like you're setting this price for the system so that the next time you pull up this cartridge, it'll be your price instead of their price. And the way you set that price is if you want to make this permanent, because you're working in this order form and these aren't priced, you want to make sure they're priced, you check global next to each one. And if you notice, once you check global, these boxes become available. You can add your cost in there. You can put a SKU number if you refer to this cartridge with a particular SKU number internally, and have all that there. If you were to check these global boxes and save it, the next time I pulled up these cartridges, they would be highlighted in blue, and there'd be a G next to it indicating they've been globalized. What that does is show you that when you're looking for something, you can easily tell that you've priced that item before in the system because it's been globalized.
Wow. That's awesome.
Cool. So I'm not going to globalize right now. I'm just going to save it for this one customer. Then I'll go in and I'm going to create another item just to have a decent looking order form. I'll do an inkjet this time. Let's say 8600. Boom. And notice we have like the chipped and the non-chipped versions of the cartridges depending on what you're selling. So it's all in there. And I'll call this color copier. I'll put that in the main department. Just leave it there. These are all fine. I'll click save. Okay, so now we have a decent looking order form. You can always drag and drop these things around if you want to reorder them. If you want to edit an item, you go over here. If you want to delete the item, you go over here. A lot of people in the industry, especially cartridge worlds, are doing in that thing, kind of the razor blade method, where they give you a printer, but then they make you pay for the cartridges later on. You have to buy at least 2 sets of cartridges, but they'll give you the printer. And so if you do anything like that, we have a lease tracker here for you. And just set the lease end date of 2 years out from now. And when you do that, you'll get a notification whenever you set it up. It could be 60 days, 30 days, that your lease is running out for this particular printer. And then you can renew the lease with your customer. If you do anything like that, that's what it's for. Okay, so now this is ready to go to the customer. We've set it up. It's got the printers on it. We're ready to go. All you have to do is click mail, and that's going to send the welcome email out to the customer. So I'm going to let my email be checked over here. And so here's the welcome email. It says, greetings, Kat with ABC CPA. Welcome to EasyOrder. We've created this online form tailored specifically to your needs. So obviously the thing we want them to click on is this big link, download your personal desktop icon right here. But just so you know, as an administrator of EasyOrder, I want to show you some other things in the email that are important. First off, we have a video that says how to order from us. So if they watch this video, it will take them literally from this email. They'll be looking at a copy of this email, and it will take them through clicking on this, downloading an icon, and then placing an order. So it will show them everything they need to do. You don't have to explain it. It's all right here in this video. All you have to tell them is when you send this welcome email, watch the little video on how to easily order from us, and then click on that link and follow the instructions. And that's all you have to do to tell them in order to get the icon on their desktop. Also, as an administrator, you also need to know, because people our customers are customers, and they will do whatever they want. Let's see where my email go. It just got into a different folder. I've got this spam filter, and it processes things. Where'd it go? Here it is. If I was looking at it, I shouldn't move it. Okay, so right here, because spam blockers and spam filters are, really strong, some of our icons have trouble installing. And so if you have, especially if a customer is using an older version of an operating system, I had somebody using Windows 95 the other day that had problems
Oh
logging in,
my.
and we didn't figure it out until about 30 minutes later when we asked them what operating system they were using, and there we go. But if anybody ever has any problems logging onto the system, they can always 100% go to this link, which is your landing page, and then they can put in their username and put in their password, and no matter what, 100% they're able to get into their order form and place an order no matter what. We wanted to give a foolproof way for them to get in. So those are the two things, the video and the login you need to know that are part of this welcome email. But this is what we want the customer to do. So if you watch this video, it'll basically say, click here to download your personal desktop icon, and this goes to our download page. There are two versions of the icon on this page, and we're actually bringing one of them back more prominently. This is what we call the logo icon. It will install your logo on the desktop. I did not create one for you in the demo, and we can do it when you get your free trial. But you can have your own version of your logo. It could say CRS, or if you have a symbol that you guys use, we could have that on the desktop icon. But this is a logo desktop icon. This one that says don't want to or can't install software on your computer. Some IT people won't allow you to install software on your computer, and so we have to have an option for both ways. So although you want them to install your branded icon, this icon is called the bookmark icon, and it does exactly the same thing. I'm going to download both of them for you just so you can see what they both look like. This is the installed logo icon. I'll save that to my desktop. Okay, so I'm going to close this out, and let's get rid of my icons from yesterday's training. These are your two icons, okay? So one says Order Form Installer, and the other says CRS Printek. The first one is the logo icon, so I'll click on that first. And it says Windows protected your PC. It's just because we're an unknown publisher. It says this all in the video. It just says run anyway. Nothing will harm your computer. We're really just installing a bookmark. Click on yes, click on install, close. It'll actually open up the order form for you instantly from installing the icon, so you're right at your order form. But just to show you, this is what it turned into, and we can get rid of the installer. So we have these two icons. The reason that you want to go with the logo icon, even if you don't have anything installed, is because this looks way better than this, and they may have more of these type icons on their desktop, because this is just Chrome. This is the web browser that they're using. This is more, it's a recycle symbol. It has your name on it, and so it's more synonymous with buying cartridges. And so you want them to get to install this, but if they can't, they can do this. But they both work the same way. So for the bookmark icon, I just double click open, and then it gets you right to your order form. This is the one we just set up. So right to the order form, right from one click on the desktop icon. The other one, this one, does the same thing, takes you right to your order form. Now, the reason this is important to have one of these two icons on the desktop for the customer is that now, unlike any of your other customers you've ever had, you are now connected to this particular customer in a huge way, because they don't have to remember your phone number. They don't have to remember your web address. They don't have to remember usernames, passwords. They don't have to remember what they have. They just need to know that they go here whenever they need to order. And so all they have to do to order, and I'll show you this from a customer's perspective, this is how quickly they can order and go on about their day. So they click on it, they get to the web browser, opens up automatically, they get to here, they find Bob's printer. Remember I said Bob needed a black one earlier. They go to review order, everything looks good, no rush, everything's fine. Oh man, I'm saving $42.99 a day, that's great. Submit the order, and here it prompts them, are you sure? Order's over $75, get charged. And you go, oh, no, what? I guess we're going to order two. And so you go, okay, and you submit the order, and then they're done. So you'll get a confirmation email. They get a confirmation email of the order, and that's all they had to do to order a cartridge. So anything else out in the market is way more complicated to order from. Even if you have saved favorites and different things like that, you still have to log in. You still have to remember all this stuff. With us, it's just a one click. It's 3 clicks to order. 1 click for the icon, 1 click to review, and 1 click to send. So now you're the easiest way to order cartridges out there. And again, customers really think this is a value-added service. We like to call it inside of EasyOrder, and also in talking with our clients. If you talk to your customers about this, you just say, hey, look, we have this premium VIP ordering system for you guys. If you'd like to get on it, it's free, and it really is a great system for you. And they get really excited about it because you're offering something like VIP special for them, and then they'll give you their information and let you do it. So that's really the meat and potatoes of what EasyOrder is about. It's about getting that icon on the desktop. It's about getting that customer loyalty and making sure they reorder. We have about a 90% reorder rate. If from the first time you set a customer up, if you put this icon on the desktop, you show them how to order, they're going to keep doing it. And once they do it once, they have about 100% return, because you literally are the easiest way to order cartridges out there. Any questions so far?
Not so far.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, so the next part of EasyOrder is basically, we talked about setting up a customer, and also just FYI, you can import customers. You don't have to do it all one by one. You could take your point of sale system, export all your customer data, put it in a spreadsheet, kind of finesse it a little bit into one of our templates, and then import everybody at once, so you're not doing a lot of manual stuff. All you have to do then is kind of create their order forms. So just FYI, you don't have to do it all manually. You can do it in mass. The next thing is quotes. So quotes is another thing that when I had my business, it was like my worst part of my day, is to go get out and do the business, and then you got to spend time once you get the business, because you have to reply quickly, because studies show that the first people to reply, if you can reply to somebody in the same day or very quickly the next day, you have much more chance of getting their business. And so I feel this way about quotes. And so the worst part of my day was coming back after a long day of hitting the streets and getting people out there, is to come back and network and then do the quotes and actually put all that stuff into some sort of form and save it and kind of keep track of everything and make sure I'm following up and all this stuff. So we've created a system that I think is by far the best quoting system out there for the ink and toner industry. So I'm going to click on Manage Quotes. And it's just like an order form, except you need much less information to get started. You're only required to have the company name, the contact name, and I say the email address, because you have to, I feel like you need to email it to them as well. So I'm going to call this Cat's Co. And Cat is the name. And I'll put my email address in there. .com. And then that's all you need to start a quote. And then you just add an item to the quote, just like we did before. It's the same exact setup. I'm going to do the same printer even. Color laser at 2600. Pop in the cartridges here. Save, and then save that. Okay, so now that we have a quote, there's a couple different options for the quote. You have a template that you choose, whether you want to use the advanced quote template or the standard. I'll show you the standard. It's more for printing out a quote. Also, your logo will be right here when I upload your logo, so it'll have your full, like this logo in here in the quote. It'll have all your information here. Here's the cartridge colors, the cartridges, your price, and all that. So that's kind of the simple quote. That's just a really basic quote if you want to print it out and hand it to somebody. Doesn't take up a lot of ink, things like that, or toner. This is the advanced quote template, and let me kind of show some of this other stuff. And also, when you click the advanced quote template, notice that this annual orders pops up, and you can now populate that. So if you want to show them a larger number of savings, you can show them that. I'm going to preview the quote here. This is the advanced quote, so it has your header up here. Looks a little more professional. Has a big kind of warranty kind of statement right there. Here's the printer name that's being quoted, the product. Here's the yield. We even can show them the cost per page. So if you're if you're quoting like their own printer versus a printer that you could sell them with cheaper cartridges, you could put their printer on a quote and put your printer that you're trying to sell them, and you can compare the cost per page. And if you're at pennies cost per page and they're at dollars cost per page, you can really show them the differences. So cost per page right there. Retail price, your price, the savings per cartridge, and then if you order all the products today from us, you're going to save this, and here's the based off 3 orders per year, your annual savings will be this. So you can show them a much larger extrapolated number from from the quote.
So so for the quote and then for a time period.
Yeah, so this is the quote, and this is based off 3 orders per year.
Okay. Now, this is the only part I really had a question about, because even on the Cartridge World website, when they click, like it says you can order from this form.
Yeah. I was just about to get to that.
Okay, I'll be quiet then.
No, 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 no. I was just saying. I was just
Yep.
about to show you.
Yep.
This is, I think, the most exciting part of our quote system is that when you're
Okay.
done telling the customer this, you're going through the quote, you show them all this stuff, you get to here, and you go, okay, now this is the point where most quotes, you just go, okay, well, thank you for listening to me about my quote, and if you need anything, give me a call. And you're kind of
Right.
left at that powerless point of they have to do something in order to come back to you. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's a very strong way to leave a sales position, is to leave them, okay, well, call me if you need anything. So what I do is I tell my people using EasyOrder, instead of doing that, and some people get really aggressive and they go, well, do you need anything today? And that will put some customers off because they're like getting pushed to buy something and you don't want to do that. So the way we do it with EasyOrder is we tell you to go, okay, we got to the end of the quote. This is how much you're going to save. All right, now let me show you how to order from us. And that's all you have to say. Let me show you how to order from CRS Printek. Basically, just click on this button, and as soon as you click on this button, it's going to open this order form and create an order form just like this based off that quote. And they'll be looking at this order form online in their web browser from the quote. So they're taking a flat PDF that's not connected to the internet, and they click the show order form button. It talks to EasyOrder, converts their quote into a working order form, and then shows them literally this, what we're looking at right here. So they can go right from a quote to being able to order with you. And so that's a huge deal, because normally when you give somebody a quote, you have to rely on them to call you back. Well, with this, you're kind of being proactive, and you're saying, this is how you order from us. You get their order form created. They get a welcome email, the same one that we sent out earlier that had the link to download their desktop icon and a link to log in and the video and all that. They get that right away. They're able to download their desktop icon. You just tell them, download that icon you got in the email, and the next time you need to order from us, just click on that desktop icon. It'll take you right back to this quote, which is now an order form, and you can place an order, and it's super easy. So by the end of the quote process, you walk your customer through to the point where they can literally order from you. And if they don't order from you, they have something on their desktop that's connected to you, so they can the next time they need anything. And that's a very powerful way to end a sales session, is to have that desktop icon, on their desktop. They're connected to you. They know how to order from you, and they don't have to do much to do it. So that's why our quote system, I feel, trumps anything else out in the market, because it has that kind of functionality to where you can order directly from the quote without doing anything. They can do it. Sometimes you'll send out a quote and you'll get an order back. I've had that happen to many of my subscribers, because it's just easy. They get it, they see it, they order, and they're done. So that's our quote system in a nutshell.
Okay, the question I had about that is, where in the process have you set them up on terms? Or I see that you were talking about you can provide payment processing.
So there's a couple of things with that. Everybody's going to start off as a quote. You can have it two different ways. If you do have credit card processing set up, and I'm going to go over to payment processor, you can enable payment processing by default for all new customers. And so if you have your payment information in here and you're taking credit cards from the system, anybody who you get a quote is considered a new customer. And when they convert their quote to an order form, they'll basically on this page, the review order page, I don't know if it's going to let me do this because I just logged out of the system. So, choose a quantity. Yep, 1. Yeah, it didn't let me do it. Hold on, 1 sec. Let me go back to it. Okay, so back to the order form, quantity. Basically on this page, when they get here, the cartridge or the credit card information is going to be right here. So it's going to ask credit card number, expiration date, CV number, and they put that all in, hit submit. It processes their credit card and then submits the order. Okay,
so they have to do that each time?
They do, because we want to be PCI compliant, and it may change. We don't want to hold people's credit cards, because that creates liable for you and then for us as the company if anything were to be compromised. And so we just keep it easy, and they have to put it in every time. But you just tell them that's for their protection, and they most of the time they go, yep, I agree.
They probably like that. Yeah. Okay, next question. What if they're going to be on terms, like you've given it to a larger customer and they're going to be on terms.
Sure.
When do you ask them for their credit information?
Well, that's up to you on how you would normally deal with the customer. Basically, when you set up on EasyOrder, if they're terms, they will just basically have on their order form. Let me edit it real quick. Not the form. We need to edit the information. Down here where it says use payment information, if you have no, you're basically setting these customers to terms. And so as you set them up, it's the conversation you would normally have for them when you set up whichever customer's ordering for you right now. The answer is whatever you do right now. So if you ask them that as they come on, or it's whatever you would normally do. And
I was just thinking about new customers. When I send them that quote that they can convert to an order form.
Well, you do still have to have conversation with them, so as as you're quoting, you go over the quote with them, and then you kind of gauge them for what they're going to need, whether it be terms or they're going to be a credit card customer. You can even ask them that, I would start with, would you like to use credit cards to pay for all your orders? And then to say no, then go, okay, well, we offer terms. Here's our credit sheet or whatever you need them to fill out.
Okay. So, because currently we have, so your credit card processing, I'm trying to think.
We're basically just the gateway to your credit card processor. So we basically just send the information over through the API, and then we work with two main companies. We work with Authorize.net, which is kind of the largest credit card processor in the country, and we work with PayPal Pro for Business. And so if you don't have Authorize.net, and if you have a different merchant account, you would probably need to get an online merchant account to deal with your online orders. And you have to determine whether it's worth the extra fees that you're going to incur. It's a $10 charge for us to do credit card processing, just to have that feature available, and then it's probably like a $25 a month charge from Authorize.net, or a per transaction fee up to a certain amount. So you have to kind of have business that really wants to do credit card processing in order for it to be really worth your while.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah.
For me, if I was still running my business, I would still do the charges, just because I don't want to chase around people and do invoices and all that stuff. I just want them to pay and be done. And so I would try to put everybody on credit card processing, just because well,
that's kind of what we're doing now. And we use QuickBooks, and I could still put it on and just get the order and then do it the normal way.
Yes, you could. Absolutely. Because we're not integrated with QuickBooks.
I know it's an extra. Yeah. I'm sorry.
We're not integrated with QuickBooks, and so you'll have to actually take whatever orders you get from EasyOrder and then put them into QuickBooks. And so, you could do all the billing when it comes to there.
Okay.
And that way you can still charge the credit card, but not have to have it set up through us.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Cool. Good deal.
Anything else on quotes before I go on?
No, I think we're good.
Cool. So there's a couple things in here. The download section, I just want to show you real quick. There's customer files that you can use, start your customer files. These are the worksheet that I was talking about, where you can get their printer inventory. All you have to do is kind of send this to a customer. It's editable PDF. They can just type right in here, save it, and send it back to you. And it says,
it looks almost like mine.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's crazy, right? So anyway, you just fill this out, you save it, you send it back to them. Again, every field is, easily customizable. They don't have to scan it and print it and all that stuff. They just save it and send it back to you, and then you get all the printer data that you want. It even asks them for who uses the printer and what department is it in, and so that you can really customize that area like we were talking about. We also have marketing materials. If you want to do a leave behind piece, you'd be considered an independent, obviously. And then we have a leave behind that kind of talks about EasyOrder for you. So you can customize this up here to your business and your contact information. And then it just shows what EasyOrder is. We have a demo video for you to show your customers, and that's at CRSreorder.com/demo. A lot of my subscribers will put this link in their email signature. So when you have your email signature, just check out our new easy online ordering video, and then put the link to the video, and then ask me how to get your free account. And that way, whenever you're emailing people, you can also talk about your new system. And so it takes them through. They're really busy, and we know that they're awesome, and we want to make this convenient. And it takes them through the entire system. It's professionally voiced over, and it's a really nice video. So it helps you market this to customers. Show them, hey, check out this video. We have this new service. It's a VIP service that we're offering, premium service. It's free to you. So just let me know if you're interested in signing up. So that's a good, start for you for marketing pieces. Another thing is I noticed on your website, you have a great website. There's just no way to do quotes, and there's no way to do other stuff because you just don't have the functionality behind it. But with EasyOrder, all you'd have to do is like over here, you could create a button that says, request a quote or log into your account, or you could put that up here, request a quote, log into your account. And then we have these pages here for you. This is the request a quote page, and this is the log into your account page. So although coming from your website, you click on here, we'll give you a link to redirect that to here, and this is the request a quote page. So what this is a lead capture software that will basically allow somebody to come to your website and request a quote without speaking to anybody at your office. And they can basically at their printers, they can do all the stuff, they can get a quote, and then when they get the quote, they can show the order form and go turn it into a working order form and then buy directly from the quote. So without talking to anybody from your website, you now will have the functionality, and this is just part of your subscription, is to have this request a quote page, and it helps you get customers who are interested. So let me show you this real quick. I'm going to say cat, and this is going to be ABC Co. And then my email address is going to be like, I got to do different email addresses each time because it won't log it in if it doesn't. So I'm just making stuff up. And there's our phone number. Okay, so at this point, we only ask them for basic information. What's your name, what's your company, what's your email, what's your phone number. And from here, they click Get Started. And when they clicked on this, they now can add items by printer or by cartridge. And it's just like we saw before in the system. You just pick, you don't pick Reman or OEM, it's all going to be Reman. And so they just pick their cartridges or their printers, they add it to the quote. But if I was to go back to our EasyOrder account and look into the quote section, all of a sudden a magic company just showed up in your quote system. And so this is coming from online. This is interacting with your website, but when they fill out just that little bit of information and click Getting Started, it saves that into your quote. Because if somebody gets to that point from your website and then doesn't want to go any further, it's called bailing. They bail on the quote. They may have, they may have to go to lunch, or they may not want to fill out all this information. They may not be ready to put in all their printers and cartridges at this point. So what it does is a warm lead. It's somebody who wanted a quote from you, and it captures that for you. So if you go in and look at it, you can tell if it's created by the user because there's this checkbox. Notice this one was created by me. No checkbox. This was created by the user. So you can easily tell if this came from online. And then you just go look at it and you go, oh, well, there's no cartridges down here, so I didn't put any cartridges, but I have the company name, I have a contact name, I have a phone number, and I have an email address. So I can either call them and go, hey, I noticed you started a quote with us, but you didn't finish it. I would be more than happy to just take your list of printers down. I'll finish your quote for you, send it back to you. And this is just a warm lead that has kind of fallen into your lap from traffic that came to your website. Some customers will fill it all the way out and get a full quote. Some customers will just fill it up to this point and then leave it, and then it's up to you to kind of follow back with them. But it's a warm lead where, you may not have gotten this lead if they wouldn't have filled that out. So it's a good lead capture system for you. The other button you could put on your website is a login button. So you can say log into my account. Sure.
Hold on. Okay, so back on the quote, what kind of a quote do they get?
They get the exact same quote that we were doing before. So the look and feel, everything is the same. There's some couple of stipulations, which is, one, if you've never priced an item before in the system, we're not going to show them a price. So although they may get a quote with cartridges, it may say checking for price next to the price field. If it does that, you'll get a notification in your system. Let me show you real quick. I logged out of your entire account. So under the to-do list, this is where everything happens in EasyOrder. This is where you kind of find that. And so under here, there'll be a notification that says a customer has added items to an order form that's not priced, or a quote, sorry,
okay.
that's not priced. And then you click on that link, you see the items, you update the price, you send it back to the customer, and now they have a quote with full pricing, and they can change it to an order form, they can order from it. There's
Okay.
also another way, and this is, we put this in there because some people want to really micromanage their quotes. And so if you're one of those kind of people who like to micromanage your prices on your quotes, you can absolutely go in there, and every time a customer puts something on and it's not priced, you go in there, you price specifically that product, you send it back to them. If you don't want your customer to stop in that process, we have a couple of things here that only deals with these two online pieces, the quote and the login. People coming in from online, we call it the customer created module, when they create their own quote or create their own order form. If you go into here and look at this set pricing by percentage, if you don't want to micromanage that price and you just say, okay, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say anybody who quotes gets a quote for any manufacturer for a laser cartridge, I want to set that at 25% off retail. And you could save that, and anybody coming through the quote process up here, if they look for laser cartridge, they're going to get 25% off our retail price as the price on their quote. What this does is keeps you from having to micromanage every quote that comes in. It just gives you a good percentage. And if you notice, I didn't do 30% off, I did 25% off, which is probably higher than I would normally charge. So a lot of folks that use EasyOrder, if they're using this system, they'll either put it right at 30% off to give the customer their best price. Some people will put it at 25% off, and they'll let that quote come through at a higher price than they charge. And when you get a quote from a customer and that they created, and you look at it and you go, okay, it came from the system, it's going to be 25% off. You then can go back to their quote, edit it, put your real prices in at 30% off. You can send it back to the customer with a note, oh, by the way, I just saw you created a quote. You got our online pricing, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you something better. I'm going to give you our in-store pricing. And so you give them a quote now at 30% off, and you look like a hero to them because they get a quote, the prices are a little high, and then you come back and go, oh, really, here's our in-store prices. I'm going to give you a better deal. And then they think you're an awesome person because you came back with a better deal for them, and sometimes it helps get business. That's just one technique that people use. You can just set it at 30, your normal prices, or you can manage it as it comes in. Each quote, you manage that price, and it's totally up to how you want to run the quote system. I would do the 30% off straight across the board, and just let that be the price, as long as it's okay for you to do that in your margins. If you want to get really specific, you go, okay, for Brother, I'm going to do 30%. For HP, I'm going to do 25%. For Canon, I'm going to do, you could do manufacturer if you wanted to. You didn't have to do everybody. But that allows you to, when you're fresh, you don't have a lot of this stuff priced in the system. And so it allows you to either to put a price on it that you can live with, or you can micromanage it and change them all in the to-do list. It depends on how you want to run it.
Okay, great.
As far as pricing stuff out, there's a couple ways to do pricing. Manage your product pricing here. You can basically, import and export pricing. So if you export your list of pricing, you'll get a spreadsheet that has all of our products in it. And then you can just basically put your price next to the Reman price and the OEM price, save it, and then you can import it back into our system. And then it you can en masse, change prices. There's also a way for you to import your own. If you have your own price sheet, you can import your own. You just have to make sure your template matches up with ours, and then you can try to import as much as you can. So there's lots of ways to get your pricing in there as well. And when you're ready to do that, just let me know and I can help you. If you do need help ever, we have a support ticket system. You just basically click on this and general requests for support, and then request to add product. If you have something in our database that you need and you don't see it, you can request it. We add it, we go out, we research it, we add all the products, we let you know it's available, and then you just can add it to customers' order form. Okay, so that's pretty much all I got. Did I get you confused, or are you good?
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed with functionality.
But in a good way.
Good. Well, like I tell most people, I think I've taught you enough to be dangerous. So what I'll do is after this video, I'll let the video render. I'll upload it to YouTube. I'll include the link. I'll give you your login to CartridgeReorder.com, username and password. I'll send you the link to the demo video, the CartridgeReorder.com/demo. I'll get that all to you in one email so you have it. I'm just going to say you can go ahead and start your 30-day trial, and you can start playing with it for 30 days. If you have any questions or need anything from here, you can always call us. I'm the owner of the company, but I also answer the phones Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I make sure I'm in touch with everybody. And then we have great support reps. Her name's Debbie, and she's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you need anything, just don't be afraid to call us. We call ourselves your sales partners at this point. So we just want to make sure that we help you sell as much Incan Toner as possible, and by understanding our software and using it to the best of your abilities.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm probably going to have to think about this a little while. I need to talk with my husband about it. But so
I'll still send you. I'll still send you the link, and then I won't start your free trial until you tell me you're ready to go. But I want you to have the full working version of the software to show him and play with him, play with it, and then, like I said, you'll have this video of this training tape, so you can have him watch this particular training and be good to go.
Okay. Well, wonderful. I think y'all have got a great product here.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, this has come from many years, 13 years of not only us and our experience of toner industry, but everybody we have on the software telling us what they want. And like I said, the mobile version is coming out August 6th, so the entire system will come out a little bit different on August 6th. But I'll show you a little preview of it real quick. CartridgeReorder.com. So this is kind of an example of, I'm not going to show you, I'm going to show you this one. This is the same system, but it's just running on kind of a mobile platform. And so now if I go to a customer, go to order forms, and then I go to view the order form now kind of looks like this, but the cool thing about it is now when I minimize my screen, everything kind of shrinks to fit
okay.
So it's pretty cool because whether you're on a tablet or you're on a cell phone, your customers can still order, directly from their phone now, because everybody's on their phone much more than on the desktop now these days. So we have a desktop.
I know. I've noticed that I probably get about 20% of my contact us people are on a phone rather than on the desktop.
Absolutely. And so we're kind of geared to hit that coming up with our we're doing a lot of work to get it to be mobile optimized and trying to change the system. But like I said, we're launching this on August 6th, and this will be kind of how it looks like. So unfortunately, got trained on something that will change quite a bit. But either way. Well, thank you so much for your time.
We don't sell inkjets. We just sell the toners.
Perfect.
So we can block those out, right?
Yeah, in the system, there's ways to you can manage availability by product, so you can take out certain products you don't want your customers to search. So if that's all the inkjets, then you can take out all the inkjets.
Okay. Okay, we can do that. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Julie. I'll be in touch with you in about a week just to check on you if I don't hear from you. Otherwise, look forward to talking to you soon.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.